Hey guys, it's the last week of videos. So because of Monday being Memorial Day, we'll just have 2 videos this week. And this is going to be it. So next week I just finalized grades, so there won't be any assignments for you to do next week. So I was just looking through, because this is just review things. I thought, well, let's review some of the bigger concepts for the whole class, because all you guys are going to be in pre-calc next year. And we'll actually do a lot of this, repeat a lot of what we did in Algebra 2, but go farther with it. Okay, so I wanted to kind of remind you, remember finding the zeros. Remember zeros, remember, is like where the graph crosses the x-axis because y is 0 there. Another name is the roots, find the roots. Okay, so finding zeros, okay, of polynomials, remember? So remember this, sneeze is coming. Excuse me. So remember, the highest power is x to the third. So remember, there's 3 answers. Now, I'm giving you one of them, so we have to find the other 2, okay? So remember, when you have the polynomial, one of the answers, we did that synthetic division. Okay, so I just wanted to go back to that. Remember, inside the box is whatever makes the 0. So remember, we take -2, set it equal to 0. Now, because of -2, we're going to +2. Okay, a lot of you were able to do this in your head. So remember, if it's a -2 in the binomial, the factor is actually a +2 in the factor right there. Remember, if you get that sign wrong, remember you have to get 0 at the end for remainder. So remember, when you're doing your homework problem, if you're not getting 0, something's wrong. Go back and check your steps. Go back and check your signs. Okay? Now remember, I need all the coefficients. When there's no coefficient here, remember we put a 1. Remember that? So my coefficients are 1, 7, 2. But see, this is a negative, a -40, a -40. So remember, I got to have the negative. If you forget that negative on the 40, that's going to throw everything off. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay, remember the first, again, this has been a little while, but the first number comes down. So 1 comes down. Remember, box times the bottom goes underneath the next number. So 2 times 1 is 2. So 2 goes under the 7. 7 and 2 are both positive, so they'll add together. Okay, 2 and 9, 18. 2 here and 18 are both positive. They'll add to 20. 2, again, box times the bottom, 2 times 20, 40. 40 with a -40, boom. Remember, I got to get a 0 there. So again, if you don't get a 0, somewhere you made a mistake, go back and double check. Because remember, if that's not a 0, remember we did some of those when I first was teaching this to you. If you don't get a 0, you can't go any farther because that's a remainder that doesn't divide evenly. If you don't get a 0, you don't divide evenly, you can't go any farther. Anyway, we do have zeros, so remember, these 3 numbers go back into our trinomial, remember? So 1 would go with the x squared, 9 goes with the x, and then 20 is just our third term. And remember, I need to solve this, so I got to set it equal to 0 and actually keep going. Now remember, if possible, the easiest thing to do is the 2 parentheses. And I'm starting off at the easier one. Because remember, if there's a 1 there, or if you don't see a number, there's a 1 there. Either way, if there's nothing there or you see a 1 there, then that means you can try to do the 2 parentheses. And I'm giving you ones that do work. So again, this 1 really doesn't do anything. So I have x squared. Remember, I break it into x and x. Okay, and again, we've been doing this in different types of problems, so this is pretty fresh in your mind. Remember, the factors of 20, because it's a positive 20, that add up to 9. The factors of 20, what multiplies make 20, that adds up to 9. And everybody should get that, 4 and 5, right? Now remember, I'm trying to add up to a positive 9, so both positive. So positive 4 and positive 5. And then remember, just kind of like we did up here, the final answer is not done until we actually solve. Now again, some of you can shortcut this, so go ahead, but I need to set both of these parentheses, remember, now equal to 0. And just solve. So x plus 4 needs to be done the opposite. So I minus 4. Okay, so the first answer is going to be a -4, which again, remember, whatever the parentheses are, the answer is the opposite. So x plus 4, so a -4. Same idea, I have an x plus 5, so I'm going to -5. And boom, there's our answer. So -4 and -5 are the other two answers. So I had an answer here. There's two more. Remember, I need a total of 3 answers. Okay, let's try another one. Over here, we'll go a little quicker through this one. Okay. So again, remember, I need a coefficient there of 1. I need a coefficient here. Now that's a -1 though. So watch. And then my factor is, that kind of looked a little bad there. Okay, x plus 3. Remember, if it's a plus 3, then actually in the box a -3, remember? And then I'm bringing down these coefficients, 1, -1. Now again, you got to watch. All of these are negative besides the first one, -96. So you really got to watch your signs. Otherwise, you're not going to get 0. So again, on the homework problem, if you're not getting 0 for remainder, something's wrong. Go back and find your mistake. Okay, 1 comes down, -3 times 1, -3. -1 and -3 add together. Remember, those are both negative, -4. -3 and -4 makes a +12. Negative times a negative, positive. -44 and +12, -32. -3 and -32 makes a +96. Boom. There we go. -96, +96, 0. And then remember, this trinomial goes back into, or these 3 numbers go back into a trinomial. Again, we're doing the easier one. On the next video, our last video, we'll actually have to do that quadratic formula. Okay, but that's fun. It's been a while, but you can do it. Okay. So again, that 1 in front really doesn't mean anything. So x and x. Okay, now the factors of 32. Now because it's a -32, what multiplies to make 32 that subtracts to make 4? So what two numbers multiply to make 32 that subtract to make 4? Again, use your calculator to help you, but 8 times 4, right? 8 times 4 is 32. 8 take away 4 is 4. Now remember, I need a -4, so the larger has to be negative, which means then the smaller is opposite. So that 4 is positive. Okay, and again, just like we did before, set these each parentheses equal to 0 and solve. So x -8, so I'm going to +8. So my first answer is a +8. The second answer, I got a +4, so I'm going to -4. So the second answer is a -4. Okay, and there's our 3 answers. 1, 2, 3. Okay, again, there's an x to the cube, so there's 3 answers that we're looking for. Okay, to try this on your own, okay, there's your problem. Okay, stick your answers in the journal. Okay, we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.